Good afternoon everybody, welcome to another video. As you can probably see behind me, I'm down in the Avon. Not far from home. I've come over because I walked the dog down here this morning and I thought that looks cracking. There's a bit of water on, there's about 2 foot of visibility, pushing through at a reasonable pace as you can see. I just thought that looks good for some trotting. We've got a lovely overcast afternoon, it is the afternoon, it's Friday, it's 12:30, it's crackerjack. There's one for the kids. Yes, I've come down here. Got the afternoon free, no school run to do this afternoon, so I'm free for a few hours. So I thought I'd come do a bit of trotting, have a little bit of a rope about. I've hardly got any gear with me at all, just got my bag, a net and my rod. Rod, of course, as always when I'm trotting, is my Daiwa Tournament Pro 15 foot. I've got on there Abu 506 Mark II closed face reel. I'm down in my winter setup now. I've got 015 reflow power main line, Drake alloy stem stick float there. I've got a 3.2 gram one on there, semi-domed. I might go to a stepped depending on what we're catching. Hoping to catch some chub, might catch some perch, might catch some dace, might catch some bleak, might catch a bit of everything. Who knows what we'll catch. That's cocked with a couple of olivettes on there. I do like olivettes rather than fishing with shot when I'm trotting. Not so much in the winter, but shot damage to the line, that's my concern. Fishing fairly fine for me anyway. I've got Drennan Suplex fluorocarbon hook link in 013, and hook size will depend on exactly what we're doing. I've got 2 baits with me today. I've got bread, which I'm going to concentrate on with some mash bread to throw in, and I've got about 1.5 pints of maggots, 2 pints of maggots, something like that. So we'll suck it and see exactly what we can catch, whether we can get any bites, who knows. My friend Mick was out last night and he said it was a bit tricky. He did have a chub in the end after dark, but he said it was a bit tricky. So we may be getting some bits and pieces, but I don't mind. It's about the method for me. Love a bit of trotting. Right, it's enough waffle, isn't it? Let's get on with it. Now I could probably wade out about another 6 foot or so if I had my waders on. But I didn't fancy walking down in my waders, to be honest. Or carrying them either. And we're going to have a bit of a rove about, so I do want to be restricted with waders, and this pretty much the only swim where I need waders. We'll get a few bits of mashed bread in for the next 5 minutes or so. And we'll get maggots in as well. I've got a bait pouch on, so I'm going to fill that up with maggots. Have some bread in there, and we'll just keep this mashed bread going in over the next few minutes while I just get the rod together and stuff, and then we'll have a crack. Now I know this bit of river pretty well, as it's on my doorstep almost. It takes me about 5 minutes to walk it down here from home. So I do know it's not particularly deep. I think if we put this at about 3 foot, we'll possibly still drag under. But yeah, looking forward to this. Not trotted down here this year. Been down here a few times in the summer catching chub on floating crust. I don't often get anything particularly big down here. If we get a 3-pounder, I'll be very happy, put it that way. But we'll see. We'll keep the bait going in. Don't want to go over the height of my wellies. Don't fancy a bootful. But with this 15-foot rod, I can certainly get out far enough to control the float. We've got quite a long run down here. Hence the semi-domed stick float. Be able to see that a lot further down than I would if I put a stepped one on. But if we're getting lots of bits and pieces and it looks like a day when we begin catching small fish, I'll probably put a stepped one on, perhaps shot it down a little bit more. But let's see, fingers crossed. Got those olivettes just above the hook link because I want them to get that bread right down. All right, went under them straight away. Yeah, I think I'm set too deep, as I mentioned. It's not very deep along here at all. It's probably quite a lot of streamer weed still in the river as well. It's, even though it's, where are we, the 11th today, 11th of November, it's still relatively mild. I mean, I'm got no cold weather clothes on at all. We'll see how we get on. Chubbing here are not daft. Not daft at all. So we'll see. All right. Oh, there we go. Blimey. That didn't take long, did it? Second run through. Feels like we've got a decent fish on. Well, that's about that. I'm amazed. Definitely chub. He's trying to get in the edge. Well, that's a cracking start. I'll speak too soon. We ain't got him in yet. It's not a monster. It's not beasting me at all, but it's cracking. Cracking start. It's a lovely fish. Well, I've got him in net behind me, but I should probably just pick him out of the water, to be honest. I think we can pick him up. God blimey, he's been in the walls. There we go, that's about that. Second run through. Fantastic. Funny growth on his chin. If you saw the video a couple of weeks ago, I had a pike that had a similar growth on it, just upstream from here. Fab. Well, I'm not going to keep him in the net. Hopefully he doesn't go out and spook all his mates, but if he does, he does. C'est la vie. We've got a few swims to go at, so not a major problem. What a cracking start. It's brilliant. Right, let's get a bit more mashed bread in. Well, it's cracking. Happy to catch a few of them today. Brilliant stuff. A bit worrying seeing all these growths on the fish though. I don't know what they are. Well, I've catfished for years, but I don't recognise them at all. Sort of growths. Very strange. Right, let's see if we can catch another one. It's often one and out here though. We'll see. Right, cracking start. Well, if they're in a feeding mood, that's great. It seems they are. I thought I caught the bottom again. I say it can be one and out in here, so I'm not going to hold my breath. All right. Oh, that was definitely a bite as well. That's a little fish, little dip, and then under it went. God, blimey, can't believe this. Can be very, very hot and cold, the Avon. That's a lot of rivers can. But yeah, just looked good for it. Oh, well, we're certainly getting some bites. I think this may be off smaller fish, but we're certainly getting some bites. Well, as I say, lots of bites. I think bites off smaller fish though, some of them. But you never know. Might be some nice roach. Could possibly try maggot. I've got a big old lump of bread flake on the moment in size 12. We'll have to suck it and see a little bit. But it's good that we're continually getting bites. There we go. What's this? Chub, I think. Well, certainly up for it today. No monster, little chublet. Cracking. Well, I've been at it. Only been at it 5 minutes. There we go. Lovely stuff. Oh, this is fab. It's exactly how I sort of looked at the river and thought, oh, it looks nice. Just the right visibility. It's perhaps 2, maybe 2.5 foot. Grave danger here of going over the top of my wellies though. So used to wading in waders. Oh well, if we get a bootful, we get a bootful. It's lovely as well having that semi-domed one on, because I can see it a long way down there. Probably 30, 40 metres, something like that. See, it's just gone under actually. There we go. God, we're bagging up. I can't believe it. I say nothing huge. And unfortunately, we have to drag this one right the way back through the swim. Getting very quickly. Trying to spook all his mates. I wish I'd bought me waders now. No, I don't, because like I say, I've got to do a lot of walking. Well, possibly we just stay in this one. I mean, we're not going to catch anything huge as suspected, but cracking time. Come here. Wonderful. Absolutely cracking. It's just what you want and when you're doing a bit of trotting. Bite a chuck. Do struggle to unhook fish that way around. Bizarrely, I'm much better at unhooking fish with my left hand, even though I'm right-handed. Right, more bait. I haven't got this mashed bread in my pouch because it's so messy. I've got it back on the bank here. There we go. It's literally a bite chuck. This feels a better fish. I'm not getting any line on them anyway, put it that way. It's definitely a better fish. Well, I'm amazed at this. That's a slightly better fish. Come on. Oh, I need a more than that. Blimey, I'm going to get a boot full in a minute. I know I am. Come on. Oh, it's a better looking fish. He's off again. Come on. Wonderful. It's like that. Lovely. Well, this is absolutely epic. Well, long may this continue. This is... I mean, I know I'm not catching anything big, but when you come down expecting to get perhaps 1 or 2 bites off perhaps a 3-pound chub, this is brilliant. It's a bit windy today, really. I thought about trotting and I thought, oh, it's going to be so windy, and it's properly windy today, but fortunately it seems to be coming from that direction, so we're sort of in the shade here. Shelter from the wind where we are at the moment. Hopefully we can stay here, keep getting bites and stick it out in here. I'm going to upset them before too long though, I think. Well, I think that is the first time it's run through and I've not had a bite. Oh, it's the only downside with these reels. They're wonderful for trotting, but God, blimey, aren't they noisy. The 507s aren't, but the 507s are a lot heavier. I've started to get a little bit of carpal tunnel with trotting. I don't really know what to do. If I go to the doctor will just say, what are you getting it from? And I'll say, trotting. And they'll say, well, stop doing it then. Not a lot of point, is there? Not a lot of point going to the doctor. To be told to stop doing what you want to do. There's, as I say, several swims along here we can have a go at. So if this one dies, we can soon go off elsewhere. I could have bought a keep now and put fish in it, but I wanted a bit more of a roving session really. I don't be carting stuff about I don't need. Looks very black overhead. It's not supposed to rain, but I haven't even bought a coat, to be honest. Perhaps stupidly I believe the weather forecast. Well, looks like we've upset them now. Not surprisingly. They've completely disappeared. Never mind, as I say, we've got a good few swims we can go at. No, we'll call it a day there. There's no point in flogging a dead horse. Clearly upset the fish, so we'll get off a bit further downstream. Drop into a few more swims. Hopefully we can replicate that several times. Be great. Great couple of hours if we can. Gosh, we're at swamp. This river's been up. The joys of river fishing. Right, let's put a few bit of bread mash through over on that far side in that flow. Lovely run down there. Again, it's on the far side, unfortunately, but sort of on the outside of a bend here, so it's not too bad. It's a nice run along there, past that bit of cover. There'll be bound to be some willow roots in the river as well across there. Right, come on, Mr. Chub. There we go. Well, that worked, didn't it? Oh, this is a decent scrap as well. Here's a nice fish. Well, it's not beasting me, but I think it's probably the biggest fish of the day. Trying to get in the reeds. I think he's managed it. I'm going to have to go down and get him if he has. I think he has. We'll go and fish him out. Chub always head for the reeds in the edge, don't they? You can see him. There he is. Come on. And again. Come on. Oh, yeah, it's definitely the biggest fish of the day. Fab. Wonderful. Nice try, Mr. Chub. You didn't quite make it. Well, there we are. No monster, but wonderful stuff. And I am going to keep him in the edge, in the net, down here, so he doesn't go and spook all his mates. It's really deep in the edge there. It's a good 4 foot, so not going to be any problem. 5 or 10 minutes. Well, cracking. As I say, generally you know pretty quick if you're going to get a bite or not. That was first run through, I think. Hopefully he's down there with his mates, and he's sulking in there for 5 minutes, so he's not able to get out there and scare him. Put a cracking scrap in this flow as well. It's wonderful. Ooh. Well, went under there. I think it might just be the bottom, or certainly some streamer weed. Maybe. I was just thinking of going a bit deeper. I'll just put a few inches on it. If it starts to drag under a lot more, we'll know. We'll have a few more casts here, I think, but I think it's going to be like I mentioned earlier, one and out. It's often the case in this bit of the river. It's very, very shallow. Well, 4 foot and not very wide, as you can see. Yeah, I think we're catching the bottom now. I mean, all summer, pretty much, we've been able to walk down here and you could see the bottom the whole way across. You can see absolutely everything. I reckon I'm about 4.5 foot now to that olivet, because it's the olivet that drags on the bottom, not the bread. I reckon we're maxed out at that. I'm going to drag under if I don't hold back. Just letting the line, yeah, there we go, look. It's just trundling along the bottom. Just sort of dragging the float under a little bit, and it pops back up. Next up, we're on the inside of a bend here. Again, the fast water's on the opposite bank, annoyingly. Oh, well, we'll get a bit of bread mash in. Another angler about 50 metres downstream on the other side, so I'll give him a bit of a wide berth. We can just do this little run in here. See if we can winkle anything out. Right, a little bit of a pluck then. And again. Oof. Looked like a bite, not the bottom. Quite a long way down. Definitely a lot of bites. A bit of a channel down there between sort of weed beds. Sort of upstream breeze now, which is quite nice. Come down the river a little way, so we're pointing in a slightly different direction. It's a bit windier here, but it is helping with presentation a little bit. It's still a bit of a facer. It's gone under. Is that the bottom? I think that's the bottom. That wasn't. Oh, hello. There we go. Was the bottom at first, I'm sure. And the second time it wasn't, certainly. God, you did a good impression of a decent fish. Go on. Well, putting a bend in the rod. Can't moan about that. Another fresh looking little chublet. Fab. Well, they're not huge, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Right, we'll stick him in the edge. Alright, a nibble there. And there. Oh. Oh, how. Did have a huge lump of bread flake on there. May not be particularly big fish, perhaps. Of course, nice that this is a southwesterly, because if it wasn't, it would be freezing this wind. There we go. Dip, under. Ooh, same place every time. I think it's little fish though, the way it's dancing on the surface before it disappears. Nah. Right, we'll get this fella back. we'll get on downstream. A few more spots to try yet. Well, this is all very civilised. We've even got a platform to stand on. Unfortunately, we're already covered in mud, so never mind. We've got a bit of a run through here. There's apparently, there's an old weir in here, an old lock from many, many, many years ago. It's sort of a bit wider here and it narrows down. And according to the club book that was probably written about 30 years ago, it's quite good. So we'll see. Not fished down here for quite a long time, to be honest. Certainly a few years since I fished down here. Right, there's a tap. There we go. Ooh. Well, that was definitely a bit of a tap, then a drag under, unless it was the bottom. A bit of a funny bite. It's deep enough, we'll soon find out. I was thinking I probably need to go a bit deeper in here anyway. Go another 6-9 inches deeper. Start dragging under. I know it's probably the bottom. Well, that's certainly not caught the bottom there. It did take a different line through, which it pretty much does every time, but yeah, that didn't drag under. Not even a sniff of dragging under. All right, there we go. Cool, feels decent fish. Not little anyway, put it that way. God, line singing away. Again, it's not a monster. It's not beasting me, but a bit of weight to him. God, straight. Kind of giving up a bit. Maybe not. Come on, fella. Oh, it's probably the biggest one of the day, just about. Yeah, I'd say it's the biggest one of the day. There we go. Fab. That's cracking. I say no monster, but he's very welcome. Well, it's nice as well to think you've read the river right, the conditions are right. It did look right for a bit of trotting. Right, let's get him unhooked. Well, there we are. As I say, no monster, but certainly the biggest one of the day. Right, hopefully, I always say, don't I? Hopefully he's down there with his big brother. I can certainly keep him in here without a problem. There we go. Just looked good for it here. I have to say, I've not really got any experience of the swim, but just looks nice. Just looked nice to run the float through there. And the currents on the inside makes it much, much easier. He's not very happy. 5-10 minutes, mate. That'll be long enough to know if we're going to get another bite. Oh, aye. Oh, well, I'm sure that was a bite. Definitely seemed like a bite to me. Perhaps we are going to have another one. Been able to hold the float back in here as well. Just slow it down a little bit. With the flow being on this side. Oh, look, sparrowhawk. Being chased by that crow. Well, that's brilliant. As I was saying, he's gone in that bush over there. Just slowing the float down. Well, slowing it down quite a lot. Just inching it through now. And that's when I just had what I think was a bite, just. There we go. Yes, I thought so. Oh. Little one. Very little one. Ah, it's come off. Yeah, it was a very little one. Well, I'm fast running out of mashed bread. Got a great deal left. I'm not sure whether to polish it all off in here or perhaps go back to that first swim we were in. Probably got a better chance of a bigger one down here. The gully up the top. He's often got chub in it, but I don't think I've ever caught anything particularly big in there. I don't fish down this stretch too often anymore, but historically never really caught bigger ones down there in that particular area. Perhaps we're better off seeing out the bait in here. Done everything I wanted to do anyway. Come out, had a few bites, caught a few fish. Oh, why did I miss that? I felt the rod tip go. I suppose we could get on the maggots if we run out of mashed bread. Quite old and quite small though. Be nice to finish off on a decent fish though. Right, put a smaller bit of bread flake on, blimey. It's getting more and more blustery by the minute. Blimey. God. That aeroplane up there, little aeroplane's going sideways. I'm crabbing. Very high up either. I hope he's not struggling. It's probably flying lower, I'd imagine, because it's a bit less windy. Right. Come on, big chub. Aye, there we go. There we go. Oh, that's probably done the swim. So I bumped that. I struck and it was just a big solid weight. Oh dear, that's probably done the swimming completely. Because yeah, I just struck into that and it just went solid. Oh, what a shame. Well, we'll keep at it, but that may well have killed this swim completely. Just felt it on just for a second and then it was off. Oh well, it's all info in the bank, in the memory bank. And now to come here next time. Next time I want to go trotting. That's a shame, that did feel like a decent fish. Oh, So the leaves started to come down as well now this wind's picked up. Not making things easy. There's one more swim I'd like to have tried as well. Big snag. There's an angler on the other side fishing, I don't know, about 40 metres upstream. I'm not going to go in sort of opposite him, bit downstream. It's a bit rude, isn't it? It's the sort of thing, if you're on a commercial fishery, there'd be like 4 pegs between you, but it's not quite the same, is it, on the river? I always equate it to like being at the urinals. If there's other urinals free, you don't go and stand next to someone else, do you? It's just not the done thing. And as I'm the only bloke on this side fishing, I can't really justify going and fishing just downstream and opposite this bloke. Although it did look a nice peg, but I've not fished it. It looked nice. There we go. Little tiddler. Certainly not the one we lost. Oh, it's a roach. How's about that? Well, that's a lovely fish. Lovely surprise as well. Is it roach or rod? It is roach. There we are. Lovely roach. Perhaps we should get on the maggots. I think perhaps we should. Let's see if we can have a few roach before we go. I'm definitely not going to put him straight back. Perhaps there's a shoal of roach down there. They're the ones that have been giving me these funny bites. Right, I'm going to change this hook link for a smaller hook. Oh, can you believe it? I'm feeding maggots and fishing them and not had a nibble. Absolutely nothing. Not a touch. Absolutely amazed. Everything loves a maggot. Not today, it seems. I keep a small hook on and we'll try a much smaller bit of bread. See if that does anything. Well, this wind is just really picking up. I think perhaps we'll go back on bread for a few minutes and then we'll call it a day, I think. So I've had good 5, perhaps 10 minutes on maggots, which don't sound like much, but if you've got to swim with lots of small fish in it, you'd think you'd be getting lots of bites and nibbles and maggots, but nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. Oh, there we go. What's this? Another roach, or is it a little chublet? Chublet, judging by the splashing. Yes. Well, it's clearly a little shoal of fish down there, getting the occasional bite. All right, blimey, it's cast over there. Someone just grabbed it on the way down. What's this? Well, I can lift him out just about. Grab that on the way down. I guess he's over there. Over there where I'm throwing it in, sitting really shallow. Drop that on his nose. Oh, it's holding up back then. I felt the rod. I still managed to miss it. Be good to be able to fish a little bit further round, a bit further down there, but I don't think I can get round. It's not really a swim. No, I'm not going to be able to get round there. Yeah, really holding that back hard. That was clearly a chub. It's a proper thump on the rod top. That's the thing with trotting. If you're really holding back hard and something comes up and grabs the bait, you feel the rod top go. There we go. I felt that again. And I missed it again. Certainly like it when I hold it back down there. Oh, I think it's probably small fish though if I'm not hooking them. Certainly feeling a thump on the rod top. Well, I'm down to literally my last bit of bread to put on the hook. I don't mean last slice, I mean literally last bit of bread to put on the hook. Got a handful of much bread left. So this will be the last run through. I've tried maggots a couple of times, but they're not interested in maggots, they want bread. So we'll give it one more run through and then we'll call it a day. Well, I'm going to call it a day at that. I've had a thoroughly enjoyable afternoon. I've run out of bread now. Tiniest little bit of mashed bread left. I've got none enough to put it on the hook. But yeah, it's been really enjoyable. Stayed probably an hour longer than I thought I was going to. It's about 3:30 now, so I stayed 3 hours. Yeah, it's only going to come down for a couple of hours, but I enjoyed myself so much. I stayed for 3, but that's been fab. Really enjoyed that. I thought I might be scratching around for bits really, but we've had some nice chub. No clunkers, but we've had some nice chub and put a bend in the rod, so that's fantastic. Now, I'm planning to get out early next week now. It's Friday today, so I shan't be out over the weekend. Got a busy weekend, but I should be out early again next week. That's the plan. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed that. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the wonderful channel patrons for your support. And I'll see you all again very soon.